agony and ecstasy of loving you. Oh, what I'm going through is really something new. Sometimes I feel so high that there's no limit to what I am going through the agony with you.
This is a great place to do it right now. This is about the end of the season. It's very cold in the morning, about 20 degrees. You get on the boat, it's a lot colder than that. But we're dressed for it, as you can tell. I'm sweating a little bit with this clothes on right now. As we're in Elephant Butte this morning, we're gonna do a duck hunt on the lake, on the east side. We got our spread set up. We got our landing zone. Everything's ready. We got our Mojo duck. We got our confidence decoys. We got some jerk rigs out here. Got ear protection on. It's very important that you wear ear protection for the blast, or else you're going to be saying what all morning long. Catwalls, widgeons, mallards, teals. This duck hunting we're doing is traditional. We're hunting with set decoys and ground blinds. And this is a more traditional way of doing it than going out in the river and just jump shooting the ducks. This takes a little bit more skill and a lot of luck. We're shooting a steel shot. I like 3-inch, 3-inch shell, four shot. That's a super duck, man. And for the birds that are hard to shoot, we got a special shell for them. This terrain here is different because it's desert. And we got to adapt our blinds to what's around here. That's why we're using these tumbleweeds. And Max 4 blends in really well with the tumbleweed and the tan color and the terrain. It works just really great. But we have to hide behind these blinds and also use rocks. But we're targeting this cove right now because they've been coming in here a lot.
Good job.
But this isn't swampland, but we got desert out here and it works. I got that one. Oh, that sounded like a fart. What we're doing is trying to get their attention by calling them and them seeing our spread. Once they start coming in and they commit, we quit calling. Today's a little slow this morning, but we're getting on them right now.
We just messed up. Just messed up. Hey Frank, appreciate it. Didn't plan on hunting today. Good to run into you on the lake.
It's a good day already.
It is.
We killed some nice ducks. Weather's cooperating.
Can't beat it.
There's other hunters around, so it's good.
They're moving the ducks.
They're moving the ducks, they sure are. Get them. Right on! That's beautiful. That's what's supposed to happen. Look at the beak.
You know, this is almost comparable to shooting on the ocean, basically. It's wide open. There's no timber like back in the Midwest where they're shooting in timber. You know, this is wide open shooting. You got to kind of pick when you're shooting in the forest, in the tree timber, you kind of got it marked of how far you can shoot. Here, it's just wide open.
Get ready. Go for it. That's that mallard. Good job.
People have been duck hunting on this lake for a long time. It's just a secret that's been kept by the locals lately because they don't want 300 guys in here hunting, but I understand that.
I'll be honest with you, the hunting here has been as good as anywhere in the world that I've hunted. I've hunted in Mississippi where I grew up. We've hunted in Alabama where my little brother lives. We've hunted in Stuttgart, Arkansas, and I've hunted over by Houston, and I must admit that I haven't had better hunts anywhere.
What's the most difficult duck? What's the smartest duck?
I think
The
the,
one that got away.
the one that got away. The greenheads right in front of us. Mallards are pretty smart.
What's the easiest?
The easiest is a dead duck. The Weegians are dumb. There you go. Teals. Catwalls.
I came down unexpectedly, shooting a borrowed gun, borrowed shells, and I'm out of shells now. But I did shoot some ducks.
It's another day in paradise. We came and accomplished what we started doing, getting limited ducks each. And I think we accomplished that. There's some birds flying in right here right now, coming in. Tomorrow will be another great day. It's a good forecast in the weather, and we're going to come out again and have another glorious day here on Elephant Butte.
Sometimes I'm blind, sometimes I see her standing firm. I'm all at sea. It's agony and ecstasy. It's agony and ecstasy.
My name's Hans Townsend, and we're here at the Bountiful Kitchen in Truth or Consequences to present my version of wild duck. These are small wild duck, so we have the two breasts together. The rest of the duck is not big enough to be able to do much with, so we actually cut the duck along the ribs to have the two breasts together with the bone. We don't take them off the bone because you would lose too much meat. And we're going to show you how we marinate them to get the gamey flavor a little more subtle. I'm going to put a little spice on there, and this is a mixed spice. This is onion powder, white pepper, a little garlic powder, a little paprika, and a little salt. And so those are just going to give it a little, they're going to soak into it with the marinade, and that should be about enough. Now that we've got a little spice on the duck, we're going to put them in a marinating bag to put in the refrigerator. And we usually marinate them for about 24 to 36 hours. The buttermilk is going to mellow the flavor of the game, and it's also going to help tenderize the meat a little. Here I have the marinated duck, which is ready to go. We're going to wash off the marinade because we don't want the milkiness in the sauce. Otherwise it will make it, it'll have less clarity. So I'm going to wash this off, and then we'll bring it back here and we'll start to cook it. Along with the duck, we're going to prepare some brown rice mixed with a little wild rice to give it a little texture, and some asparagus to give it a little color. And so I'm going to put the rice on because that's going to take a little while to cook. This is a fairly easy one for home. We're going to use some cranberry sauce with the whole berries. Everybody can find that in the store. We're going to add half a cup of pomegranate blueberry juice. This will give it a little sweeter taste. Cranberries themselves have usually got a little bitterness with them, and this will mellow the flavor of the cranberries. Then we're going to add a half a cup of red wine. This shouldn't be a sweet red wine. Cabernets are good, something with a little acidity to it. The rice should take us about 30 minutes to be ready. The duck is going to be 20 minutes in the pan, and then we're going to leave the sauce to just reduce, and then we're going to add a little flour mixed with butter to just give it the gloss and the thickness that we need. I'm now going to take off the bottom of the asparagus, and this is going into the pan to steam. Now it's time for us to take the duck breast out and glaze it a little in some clarified butter, and we'll put it in the oven until everything else is ready. Putting a little chopped garlic in the butter, and adding our asparagus. A little onion powder and a little white pepper. And this is going down in the oven to keep until we've got everything else ready. This is butter and flour mixed together, so they will give that a sheen and thicken it up a little. We mix the butter with the flour to stop the flour lumping, and the butter also helps the sauce. I have a 12-year-old daughter at home who loves duck. We've eaten it in various restaurants. And so when we got the wild duck, she of course wanted to eat some right away. And not wanting to upset her, I said, okay, I'll roast you a few ducks. I put them in a little convection oven, and we did the duck breasts for her. And I served them up to her, and she looked at me and pulled her face and said, Daddy, these taste like liver. And I said, well, that's the reason we have to wait a couple of days before we eat them usually, because we have to prepare them correctly to get the right kind of flavor that we want. To finish our sauce, we're going to give it a little shot of brandy. When the duck hunters come back, there's always great excitement when they've got a good bag. But for me, it's exciting to cook and eat it. So I'm always glad when they come back with a lot of duck. So there we have it. Cranberry wild Elephant Butte duck. Give it a try next time you have a duck hunt.
All right. This.
Hopefully no buckshot.
Very nice.
I'm glad you like it.
We're out in a boat. We're afloat. Looking for duck for dinner tonight.
In this area in southern New Mexico, Elephant Butte, TRC area, we got a really good hotel. It's called Elephant Butte Inn, and they're a full accommodation hotel. They got a great restaurant, bar, swimming pool, and they just opened up a new RV park across the street, which is fabulous. Full service RV park with a clubhouse and even a state-of-the-art dog wash. I really like that dog wash. I take Anchor there sometimes. I've never seen my 19 years of guiding, I've never seen Elephant Butte freeze like this. Never. This is unbelievable. It won't last too long though. Probably by this afternoon it'll melt down. We're in 5 feet of water now, and it's 34 degrees. That's cold water. Cold water. Polar bear swimming water.
The hunting here in New Mexico is actually just about as good as anywhere else. I was talking to my little brother, one of which who lives in Mississippi, the other one who lives in Austin, and they haven't done nearly as well this year as we have here.
We're hunting right here in Elephant Butte, New Mexico, biggest body of water in the state, and we're hunting ducks. Let them come in. Now. Right where they're supposed to, Don.
Isn't that beautiful when they do that?
Yes, right where they're supposed to. Finish him, Don. Good shot. Attaboy.
It's an open water hunt, so it's not a timber hunt. The birds don't drop right into your spread at 10 feet. But other than that, it's really pretty much the same type of hunting. It's other than the fact that it's open water and a wide open decoy spread. Since it's a big body of water, we need somewhere around 6 or 7 dozen decoys, as opposed to just needing 8 or 10 in a small pothole. But it certainly works. The birds decoy in, they've worked really wonderfully, and we've had no trouble taking our limits.
We're using 20 gauge and 12 gauge. My preference is a 12 gauge modified choke. We're shooting a steel shot. I like 3-inch, 3-inch shells with 4 shot. They're busting you, Kurt. Right out of range. Hey!
Birds are everywhere. We've been decoying in birds probably in the dozens. At one time we had probably, I want to say at least 100 teal sitting on the water just out here, maybe 100 yards from our spread. It's been absolutely tremendous. I hope the footage shows as much as we saw. It couldn't absolutely get any better than that.
This season runs all the way from October through January 27th. So we're right about the end almost. We're middle of January right now.
Oh, I should have gotten that
3
one.
weeks to go. Good shot, Don.
They're going after your duck.
Are they?
Frank. That's exactly what they're doing.
Thanks for the duck.
Problem, you get plenty of action.
Huh?
You get plenty of action.
Oh yeah, they're coming in now. It's more later than earlier. Where are y'all gonna set up at?
We're set up down
Down over here?
right about the point of Long Point.
Oh, okay. All right, you guys, thanks. Turducken! We got gadwalls, widgeons, mallards, pintails, and we got shovelers. It's a canvasback. Very rare around here. All kinds of teals. There's a lot of birds, a lot of ducks here, a lot of waterfowl.
Thrill for me about duck hunting, first of all, I've been doing this since I was about 9 or 10 years old. And it's just always, it's something I remember doing with my dad. It's something that you can do as a family. There's no reason on earth you can't bring an 8 or a 10-year-old out here and have just as good a time as you can with your grandfather.
Hey,
so
good
it's a
shot,
family
Don.
affair. And the other thing that I like about ducks is it's kind of an interactive hunting. It's a little bit like turkeys. You have to have some knowledge about what you're doing. You have to build your spread. You have to organize things the way that so that they don't see you. And then there's a lot to go together to putting together a spread. And once you've done all those things and it comes together and the birds come in and land in your spread, it's like calling in a turkey. There's just nothing more satisfying. Frank's a really good fella.
Unbelievable.
I've known Frank for probably 10 years and have always enjoyed my time on the water or time in the blind with him, and I must admit that we've been doing pretty well together.
If you guys are interested in a duck hunt here in southern New Mexico, contact me, Frank Vilorio, 575-740-4710. Guarantee you guys will have a great time down here in the Southwest. This is Sportsman's Paradise, New Mexico. Watch Wild New Mexico. You'll get a thrill.
Enjoying your duck, we're out on the lake. Take a great